All right, true story, how I almost got fired. So I was nominated to become vice president of Latin America, right? And that really meant that I had to move to Latin America. So we moved to Argentina. I took the whole family down to Argentina. And I ran like 5 or 6 different regional offices, right, throughout Latin America. And after 3 months down in the territory, my boss, his name is Lynn, says, "Hey, Victor, come on up." He always liked to look you in the eye, and actually have a conversation with you about what was going on in the region, so forth and so on, right? Now, up to this point, they've been in the region for like 10 years. They've not sold more than $14 million, 14.1 to be exact. And so anyway, I have to fly all the way back to Minnesota where the corporate headquarters is at, and just to meet with Lynn. He just, again, president of the company wants to talk to me, just wants to see me, and just discuss what's going on in the region. And I remember going into his office, secretary, kind of waves me into the office, and I walk into the office, and it's one of those offices just really intimidating, right? The mahogany desk, the bay windows, the expensive art on the wall. You can tell it's expensive because it was kind of ugly between us. But anyway, so I remember we're having, the pleasantries, right? How's it going? How's the family? How's this and that? Back and forth. And then he asked me this key question. He says, "Victor, what can I do to help you grow the region?" I'm thinking, what a great question, right? Think about it. What a great question. What a great management question. What can I do to help you grow the region? Without thinking, I said, "Lynn, if I had better pricing, I know I can sell more in the territory, in that region." That's what I said. If I had better pricing, I know I can sell more. And all of a sudden, he just went quiet, kind of had that solemn look, just went quiet, just looked at me. And you know how there's a moment that passes that gets really uncomfortable, right? And I'm like, I don't know what to say. So finally he breaks the silence. He says, "Victor, let me ask you a question." Now, when somebody says, "Let me ask you a question," I guarantee you it's never going to go your way. So he says, "Victor, let me ask you a question." I said, "Yes." He said, "If the only way to grow the territory, the region, is to lower our pricing, why don't I do this? Why don't I just fire you, fire your salespeople, close all the offices in the region down, and just send the customer a brochure? I think it would be more cost effective for me that way. What do you think of that idea?" And it's like, I remember being stunned. And I just remember saying something like, "I think we need to move on from this conversation and go on to another topic," right? Because I wanted to get off that conversation as soon as possible. And he says, "Fair enough. Let's keep talking about other things." And that was the moment I learned that you don't sell on price, you sell on value. And what he was saying is that essentially what I guess managers tell their sales team, right? If I need you to give away discounts, you're not really selling, you're gifting away the equipment or the actual product. And so that was the day I really learned that I need to learn how to sell on value. Now, our products were typically 30, maybe 45%, depending on which product set. We were selling higher than our competitors, so we had to really learn how to sell on value. Did it work over time? I said, yeah. We actually went from $14 million to like $98 million in annual revenue. 14 to 98 in less than 3 years. And I started training my team on how to sell value. I remember the late, great Mac Hannon once said, and I read this in his book, Consultative Selling, and I rephrase it, but this is essentially what he said. Discounting is the ignorance tax you pay for not knowing the value of your product. And that's always stuck with me, because I think when you're discounting, you're basically underselling your product. And if that's your own default in terms of closing a deal, then you're not really selling, you're gifting things away. So again, that was the day I almost got fired. As soon as we moved off price, we were good. We learned how to sell on value. And from that day forward, I trained on how to sell value over price. That's my story.